There have been millions and millions of videos made by moms in America who have saved money. And they show you all the American sites, they show you the American stores, but there's nothing really for Canada to show you how to save money in Canada. So what I've done is I am in Canada. I live in Canada. I live in British Columbia, which is the most expensive province in Canada. And what I've done is I've decided to make a channel that saves money in Canada. So today on my channel, I've shown you how I've cut off at least $10 of today's meal and my grocery bill, and I am going to take you through the recipe that I've made. I'm going to take you through some money saving tips, and then yeah, let's get into it. Next thing that I do is I add olive oil to the bottom of the pan. This is the cheapest olive oil I could find. And then, of course, I am going to add my onions to the bottom and put it on saute. Now I'm going to add some Superstore garlic. It's just a no-name brand Superstore crushed garlic, which I find is the cheapest one. It's at least $5 cheaper than the brand names. And I'm just going to add that in and saute it with the onions. Once this is glazed nicely, we can add all the other ingredients to the pot. So I have got a can of crushed tomato. I usually use Superstore no-name brand, but they didn't have, so I got this brand, which is the next one, lowest on the price range. And then I'm just going to open my can. This is a fantastic little can opener. It works with a battery, and it is just the best for opening stuff. I don't like the manual ones because they end up not opening cans properly anymore. So I'm just going to let the can open while I keep on sauteing, and then I'm going to add half of the can into the pot. We don't need more than half. You actually just need one normal size can, but because this is a big can, I'm just going to use half of the can. If you look down in the description below, I've added a link to this can opener. If you're interested, this is a fantastic can opener, like I said, just the best. Now I'm just going to stir it in and make sure that it's covering the onion properly. The next thing I'm going to add is 3/4 of a cup of washed red lentils. So I've already washed it out, and I'm just adding all of the lentils into my pot. And once again, I'm just going to stir it in and make sure it's all in. The next thing is I'm going to add 2 grated zucchinis. It's 2 small to medium grated zucchinis that I'm adding into the pot. And once again, I'm just going to stir it in and make sure that it's all in. The great thing about using red lentils is that meat is so expensive. And so if you're using lentils instead of meat, you get that value, you get that protein, but you're also cutting off about $6-7 off of your meal just by using lentils. Now the recipe also calls for 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm just using Superstore no-name brand, and I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons. This is a teaspoon, so I'm adding 4 teaspoons instead of 2 tablespoons. Once again, I'm just going to make sure that it's stirred in properly, but before I do, I'm going to add some water to it. With the Instant Pot, it is extremely important that you have enough water in there. So I've added 2 cups of water in, and I'm just stirring it up to see if I need more water. The mixture still looks a little bit thick. I'm just adding a 1/3 cup of water to this mixture, and this should do the trick in the Instant Pot. Now I'm going to add my Instant Pot lid. There's a vent which has to be in the seal position, and then there's a little red button which will pop up once the Instant Pot has reached pressure. And once you release the pressure, it will go down again. I'm just going to put my lid on and turn it to the seal position, and then I am going to take the seal vent and just make sure that it's on seal. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my pressure cooker on pressure cook, and I'm going to take it down to 10 minutes. Now the Instant Pot is going to switch on, and then once it's reached its pressure, then it'll start counting down from 10. Over here you can see steam coming out of the little red button. It's getting ready to pop out properly. There we go, the pressure has been reached, and now it's just going to switch on and start counting down from 10. One of the bigger tips that I can give you is, because we used only half of this, I don't want it to go to waste. And if I leave it in the fridge, it's probably going to go off and go moldy like the previous one did. So I've put the other half into a container like this. I've written crushed tomato on it and how much, about 1 can, because this is roughly 2 cans. And now I'm just going to freeze it until I need it again, which means that I'm saving. So I just want to get down here so you can see me. These celery sticks have been in the fridge for quite a while, and I'm not one to waste. So I'm going to take them off and just check them. This one looks like it's a little moldy, so I'm going to get rid of this one. But the others I'm going to wash properly, and then I'm going to cut them up and freeze them, and I'll show you how. So if you're going to freeze celery, make sure it's washed, cut it up, and then you're just going to pop it in the freezer bag, get rid of the air, and then write the date on it, and it's as simple as that. So when you're going to freeze things, you have to freeze them in freezer bags, because if you use any other type of bag, then it's going to not work and it's not going to freeze, and you're going to end up with freezer burns. So what I did is I made sure that it's freezer bags. If you look on the writing on the bag itself, it says freezer bag. So that's what I did, is I bought some freezer bags. This is great because I can actually wash the freezer bag again. If I really need to save money, wash them out, turn them upside down, let them dry. I can't do that. I don't do it for meat. I do it for other stuff, but not for meat. So I've just got new neighbors that arrived. Interesting. Okay, so that is it. What you can also do is you can freeze a lot of stuff like you've seen. You don't have to use meat. You can use lentils like you've seen, but also you can also bake some stuff yourself. So I've done a lot of that, and today I actually had visitors over, and I made apple cake, which is simply apples, flour, sugar, and water, and an egg, and I made it very quickly. If you want to see that recipe, I will be making a video with that recipe, so just hang on with that. What you need to remember about my channel is that it is in Canadian dollars that I'm talking, and I'm talking about using stores like Royal Canadian Superstore and discount stores. By the way, I have found is not really money friendly, because you go in there, you come out with $1 million of things which you don't really need, or there's too much of. So I kind of avoid going these stores. But it does have its uses, like when you buy bulk products, they sell that really cheap. And they sell like vitamins, not vitamins, but ibuprofen really cheap. But other than that, I found that buying at Superstore has helped me cut money and cut my grocery bill in half. I've come out with about $300-400 every 2 weeks. So it's about $800 a month. That is a huge amount of money. This month, I've only spent $300 though. And that has is going to take me to the end of February. So $300 to the end of February is not bad. Okay, so another way I've managed to save money is by stopping to buy these. These guys are $17.99 at my local superstore. $17.99. That is a lot of money. So what I've done is I bought this dishwasher detergent. It is powder. And I have bought, oh, and by the way, this was $5.99. And then I bought this for the blue stuff that goes into the dishwasher. This was $3.59. So that is like, what, $10? So I've saved another $7. That is already like $10, $27, $20 off my grocery bill, give or take. And then if you are really strapped for cash, like seriously strapped for cash, you could put like half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of this into your dishwasher. I've done it before. It foams a lot, so don't use a lot. But you could do that. This is hand wash dishwashing detergent that you put in the sink. So you could use this. It does foam a lot, so like half a teaspoon maybe. But it is possible to use if you're really, really strapped for cash. You could do that. Just quickly, saving money in Canada has really become a very, very important thing to do. So as I show you frugal meals, if you like my channel, please like it. Push the like button. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can get more viewers and help other people too. A very cheap washing detergent is Old Dutch. And I tend to use Old Dutch when I need to save money. It's $6.99 at Superstore for the entire bottle. It does about 100 washes. So you just add it into the cup. It's a very thin blue liquid. And then we're just going to add the cup into the washing machine. And this cuts off a huge amount of money off of my washing detergent budget every month. And I'm just making sure that the soap is evenly distributed and on. Okay, so my Instant Pot today did a natural release of steam. I did not vent it and let the steam out, so it did it by itself. And there it is. It's nice and hot. It's still boiling inside. And now we're going to continue making the lentil bolognese. What I've done here is I've got a cornstarch slurry that I've made. That's not the cornstarch I use. I use Superstore No Name brand. It's just a container. Then I've made a slurry. It must not be too thin. It must be thick as you can make it. And then you are just going to stir it in like so, and just a little bit at a time, just to thicken it up a tiny bit so that it is able to sit on the spaghetti and not just be runny all over the show. I end up using all of this. I used about 3 to 4 teaspoons of cornstarch in this slurry. There we go, nice and thick. Now what I've done is, the original recipe does not have this in, but I am adding 2 teaspoons of origami into it to make it taste a little bit more Italian. And then I am going to add 1 teaspoon of basil into it. There we go. And now what I'm doing is I'm just blending it up. And the reason I blend it is so that my kids don't complain about the veggies that they see in it. But you can totally leave the blending out of it. You don't need to blend it. It's perfectly nice without blending it. But my kids just don't like seeing veggies. So I'm just blending it up so that they don't see anything and it looks like ketchup. The great thing about the Instant Pot is that it'll keep the food warm until my kids come home, which will be about 4 hours from now, and I will just be able to dish up. Now I've run out of garlic, so to save money, I'll make a shopping list, which I write down on the fridge, and I'm just going to write down that I need the garlic, and I actually also need vinegar, so I'm just going to add that onto my shopping list. So to finish it off, I've got some no name brand Superstore marble cheese. Just going to grate this up.
And then I will show you what dinner tonight is going to look like. So dinner tonight is spaghetti with the lentil bolognese and some cheese on top.
I hope this has been informative and helpful to you. What you can also do is you can freeze a lot of stuff like you've seen. You don't have to use meat, you can use lentils like you've seen. Please subscribe to my channel, please like my channel, and I'll see you again.